Unstoppable Morgan addresses her Patreons and talks about her arrest. All right, Morgan's lives are back up now. That's right, her live streams. Last night, when we were talking about it on the live stream, I showed that her channel was back up and the videos and everything was back up, but her live streams were not. And today they are back up. So yes, she is back, I guess you could say. Back on YouTube, back on Patreon, back. Everything is up and running. And yeah, I guess she needs an income stream now for sure. So yes, all her things are back up. So if you want to go check out that stuff, go over to Morgan's channel and check it out. But let's talk about what she said, what she addressed, and the way she addressed things. Now again, this is not me making up stories. This is not me speculating. This is not me whatever. This is just relaying to you what Morgan told the crew, the army, if you will. Now, all right, she did confirm she was charged with extortion. And I guess she said the max is 20 years and the minimum is 1 year. So we don't know what is going to happen yet, but that is what she said. She also went on, she said this whole thing, that anybody on Patreon, where she posted this, that it was a joke. It was not real. It was a joke, but we see where we are now. So joke or not, someone took it seriously, and yeah, that's where we all wound up. She wound up in jail with charges for extortion. She said that her cell phone was seized. So she, when she was released, she had no way to contact anybody. And we all know it's the same. I don't even know I couldn't call my wife if I had to. I don't even know her phone number. So I get it. Yeah. I mean, you lose your phone nowadays, you lose everything. It wasn't like back in the good old days when I was just a youth and we had to, we had to know everybody's phone number. I still remember my old phone number from where I grew up as a kid because I had to. Now you don't have to. So yeah, I get it. So she didn't have any contacts or anything. She went to an ATM to get some money out of the bank, and her card was locked, she said. So her bank account, I guess, is frozen. Maybe because she was released on this no bail thing. But so I guess, I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a judge. I'm not a police officer. I'm not a jailer. I'm not any of that. But I don't know. Maybe it's because, your assets are locked so you can't flee. I don't know. Again, this is what she said. She said a subscriber, some of you may know who it is. I'm not going to say her name. But a subscriber of her, a single mother, her and her child, her son, they came and they picked her up. That's right. They picked her up from jail. Morgan said when she was released, and again, no cell phone. I guess all her goodies are in there, and that's where everything's at. She said she heard someone screaming her name, and it was this subscriber of hers, and she refers to her as her angel now. She picked her up again. They got a room. Morgan says some big penthouse suite thing. I don't know. Got a shower and all this other stuff. This woman also got her a phone, and that is what she is recording and doing stuff on. She has a new iPhone thanks to this person. She said that since Johnny had a restraining order out, she had the police accompany her, easy for me to say, right? She had the cops go with her. The police accompanied her to get her things from Johnny's house, including her truck and all that other good stuff, the dogs, I would imagine, and everything. So yeah, she gathered up all her things under the watchful eye of the police, again, due to the restraining order that Johnny has. And again, this is all what she said. She also said that she took a pre-trial piss test, and there were no drugs. She said luckily she quit smoking weed a couple months ago, I think I remember her saying. But there were no drugs in her system. But at the time of her booking, when she was booked, she blew a 30. That's right, a 0.30 is what Morgan has stated. So yeah, that's a lot, especially for a small girl of her size. So I guess she beat feet from Nevada. She does have to go back for her arraignment on the 31st of this month. So that's when she will be, she said she has to commute back and forth. But yeah, she will be going back for her arraignment on the 31st. She also, she broke down a little bit. She said that she was mourning the loss of Johnny. And she did claim that she did fall in love with him and she loves him, and it's a whole big ordeal for her. And, yeah, this whole thing is a little bit too much. Well, then she said, okay, enough of the crying. And, yeah, she kind of went off and started going off on, Mr. David Wilkes. She basically, in a nutshell, without going into the whole thing, she said that he's basically full of shit clout chaser, and he's just trying to get rich and grow off of her name and off of her back. And she also went on to claim that she doesn't owe Enterprise a damn thing. She owes them nothing. It's not her responsibility. She took care of it, but not through Enterprise. And yeah, that's what she said about that. She did go on as she was talking. Now, this is I think it was an hour and 45 minutes or so live stream. She admits to self-sabotaging and claims that she wants sobriety. So, she did say, I people allow me to self-sabotage, and I do this and I do that, and I drink and I do this, and I have to keep away from people that allow me to do this. And now that I have to go and do regular, piss and blood tests and everything else, I'm held accountable. So I'm not allowed to self-sabotage. So she says, her claim is that she is going to take this opportunity to, kick the dragon, I guess you could say, knock the monkey off her shoulder or back or whatever. But yeah, she is claiming, again, to take this opportunity to straighten up and sober up. She then went on and she gave an address, a P.O. box of hers. And this was so her army could send letters. Not to the DA directly, but to her through her P.O. box, to give to the DA to explain why she is such an asset to all of us out here in the internet social media world. But yes, to explain why she is so important and so needed on the internet. And that is why she shouldn't go to jail. So they're supposed to list all the reasons why she shouldn't go to jail. And of course, these are all her army, her simps. So without our beloved Morgan on social media, society as we know it in the United States would collapse. So therefore, we need our Morgan out of jail so YouTube doesn't crumble and we don't hurl ourselves off of cliffs and so on and so forth. I don't know. I joke. But anyway, she also says, she admits her words. She said she was hammered. Well, maybe not hammered, but she said she was hammered. Well, she blew a 3-0. She said she was hammered in her mugshot. So when you see the mugshots, I used it in one of my thumbnails. But as you see her mugshots floating around, she says, yeah, she was plastered. So again, if I say she was drinking a little too much or something, and her cronies come over here, oh, you're so mean, you're horrible, why you? She was hammered in her mugshot. Therefore, she was drinking excessively before. She blew a 3-0 at the time of her booking. Therefore, she was drinking excessively before this all happened. I'm not making it all up. I'm not being mean. I'm not bashing Morgan. I'm not stepping on her throat or kicking her when she's down. This is the facts. This is what's going on. This is her words. Her words. She was hammered in the mugshot, and she blew a 3-0. She said it. I wasn't there. I didn't pull a number out of my ass. I wasn't there. I didn't see the little machine. I didn't read it. This is what the information she is passing on. She then went on to say that, addressing the Enterprise thing again, that she doesn't owe Enterprise anything because she gave Dave just under $11,000, $10,900 and whatever she said, but just under $11K. So that more than covers it, is what she said. Now I got to admit, she was really bashing Wilkes. She was talking about him, all kind of stuff, in little sections throughout. But there towards the end, I got to admit, she was funny as hell. She was just dying. She had me dying. I mean, she was going, that little fat fuck. It was pretty funny. I have to admit, it was funny. Because remember, I was on the end of her rage texts, so it wasn't at me for once. This time, I should say. But yeah, it was pretty funny. I got to admit, there's nothing. I just have to say that. She said she just wants to be bitter and talk some shit. So just let her have that. Let her have that. And again, when she got all pissed at me and the rage text and everything, that's pretty much what I said in the video that I made about it. I was like, yeah, she's mad at me, but she's allowed to be, right? Let her be mad. Let her be mad, you know? Blow off some steam, get that shit off your chest. If you got to be mad at me, you be mad at me. I mean, again, she wasn't totally wrong. I spoke up. I said shit that she didn't want to hear, so she got pissed. That's fine. So, again, just let her be bitter for a while. Of course she's going to be bitter. And let her talk some shit about people. Why not? Everybody else is talking shit about her, right? Oh, yep, they are. There's lots of channels out there that are riding the Morgan drama. They jumped on the Morgan train, didn't they? Well, what's so different about you there, BlindViews? Well, I'll tell you what's the difference is. I have been watching and covering Morgan for years. As someone said to me yesterday, you've been talking about Morgan before it was cool to talk about Morgan. That's right. I watch her. I've been talking about her for years now. So it wasn't like, ooh, look, Morgan drama. Let me jump on the Morgan train. Nay. It's not like that. I have been talking about her for years. And again, I'll say it at the threat of sounding like a broken record. I was always behind her. I was always rooting for her. I was always a champion for Morgan. But there, towards the end here, it's been getting very, very hard to go, yay, Morgan, you go. No, she's just been a little bit much. I mean, I covered the ice cream, the Florida ice cream lady story. Talked all about that. I wasn't mean. This is what I saw. This is what I saw from this lady. This is what she said. This is what Morgan. This is this video. There's people on TikTok and YouTube and everything saying all kinds of crazy shit. So I made mine and I looked at it with the BlindViews eyes and I just said what I saw. I also made a video about the ice cream lady and her husband, and they have many, many businesses, their little LLCs and everything. And he was arrested because he did the old, during the COVID, oh, well, we have X amount of employees, and since our business is shut down, and he got a whole bunch of money from the government, which was a lie, so that's why he's in jail. And I did all this, but YouTube took it all down, claiming some kind of privacy policy bullshit, when everything I was talking about and showed and everything was all public information. But that's neither here nor there. YouTube did what YouTube does, out of my hands though. But the thing was I pulled that part out while everybody was dogging Morgan and calling her a racist and everything else. I was like, well, look who these people are. Look who this lady is, and look at the situation, and make up your own mind. Just don't look at, some white lady screaming, because remember, the first words out of the ice cream lady's mouth was, this white lady, but right away. But anyway, so, I wanted to show that this wasn't just some innocent old person just driving a little ice cream truck around trying to mind her own business, and some crazy whacked out Morgan went ballistic. When it's easy to know, if you know Morgan, you go, well, yeah, she could have been on one of her spirals and snapped out. But again, when everyone was saying that she was racist, I said, no, she's not racist. She's a little bit kooky and loony, and she goes off sometimes, but I don't think she's a racist. She just spouted off. Shit comes flying out of your mouth. But so I'm not bashing Morgan all the time. I've been covering her for a long time. I've been championing for Morgan, but she's making it very difficult. And ta-da, look where she wound up. Look how she wound up. I may not always show her in the best light, but that's not my fault. That's her fault. That's her fault. I just watch her, and that's it. I'm not here to kiss her ass. I say what I see her doing, and I say what I, hear her saying. So it's not my fault that I say, well, she's spiraling, when she's going, get your tickets, Morgan's. Is that my fault? No, it's her fault that I don't speak of her in a good light all the time. If she wouldn't do that, then I wouldn't have to say that. And then, sure, there are people out there, and some people probably have done her wrong, and, she just got caught up in everything. But not every encounter that she has is her sitting back going, oh, she's all guilt-free. No. You can't tell me, I don't care how much is a unstoppable army and everything, you can't tell me that every single person that, from Dave 2D to the other Dave that we saw her on the live stream screaming and yelling and hollering, and they split up, and then to the other guy, to Dave in his garage and screaming and hollering about shit, and her leaving, and then going to this other guy's garage with the door ajar off the hinges, and then she's screaming because she can't get out, and he's screaming because he wants her out. And everybody can't be, every single person in her life, every single encounter that she has can't be all, she's just innocent and it just happened and it's everybody else on the planet's fault. Unless she is the most unluckiest person in the entire world, not just in the United States, in the world, because everyone she meets is out to get her, and she's just cruising along being, I'm just driving around and trying to live, me and my dogs, and I'm not doing anything, but all this shit keeps happening, and none of it's her fault. Well, I can't buy that one. I can't buy that one at all. I'm sorry. I really, really can't. I can't fall for that. So here, I got a question for all you guys, especially her army out there and her simps and everybody else. Here's my question. Now, if she comes out of all this and everything's fine, maybe she just gets probation or whatever. I don't know. But if she comes out of this and has her channel and her Patreon, and she just gets back in her truck and throws the dogs in and off into the sunset she drives, and she comes out of this okay, but yet finds herself in yet another garage, drunk and spiraling out of control, will you say, oh, it wasn't her fault. It's not her fault. She's our perfect goddess. You're just being mean to her. Or will you finally see that she does most of this shit to herself? Come on. Again, hopefully she takes this, like she said that she wanted to do, to take this opportunity of being held accountable and having to take piss tests and everything to get her shit together. But again, if she goes back into the same old, and we see rinse and repeat, are you still going to stick up for her and say, oh, it's not her fault. It's this, it's that, it's whatever. What is it this time? What is it this time? How many excuses can you make? So I will leave you with this: insanity, repeating the same thing over and over, expecting different results. That's all I got to say.
I'm BlindViews, and that is the way I see it.
What we do here is go back.